Nearly 200 million rooms and properties were booked through Airbnb in 2019. This year, the company expects less than half as many guests as the coronavirus pandemic disrupts global tourism. That's led Airbnb to lay off 1,900 workers.
So it's kind of retrenching, and it's saying it wants to refocus just on its core business of home sharing. It is cutting things like investments in hotels and investments in luxury properties. Some experimentation it was doing on transportation and air transportation and movie production. It's just cutting back, refocusing, and cutting a lot of its employees.
Other businesses in the sharing economy are also hurting because of social distancing, lockdowns, and other lifestyle changes brought on by the pandemic. Ride-hailing app Careem had been expanding aggressively in the Middle East over the past 2 years. Now it's slashing 1/3 of its workforce. Its parent company Uber is laying off 3,700 workers, and it's shutting down its food delivery business Uber Eats in 8 countries including Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Shared workspace provider WeWork may be the worst hit. SoftBank has scrapped plans to invest $3 billion in the company, which is running out of cash. It could be forced to shut down permanently. Analysts say things aren't as bad for Airbnb. It's already reporting an uptick in bookings in some regions.
You know, they really do believe that travel is going to come back. They believe they're well positioned for it because when it does come back, they think people are going to want local travel to an entire house that you can control. You're not staying in a hotel with a whole bunch of people. You're in your own house. They have cleaning standards that they're asking hosts to make sure that they follow. So they're pretty sure that things are going to come back, but they just don't know when.
The International Air Transport Association says international travel may not recover until 2023. If that's the case, many of the 7 million hosts listed on Airbnb may have to wait a while before they can welcome guests regularly again. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
Well, for more on the troubles in the shared economy, let's go to Santosh Rao now, who joins us from Princeton in New Jersey. He's head of research at Manhattan Venture Partners. Good to have you back with us, Santosh. Now,
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure as always. It wasn't too long that these so-called gig startups were flying high in terms of evaluations, in some cases revenue and profits as well. But what is it about this sector that made it particularly susceptible to these coronavirus lockdowns?
Well, it's not just this sector. I think every aspect of travel and tourism industry has got hit. So it's nothing unique to this sector, but this was right on the line of fire. So you can say that it was right in front. So it was very obvious that they would get hit, and it all comes down to how close we are to people. Like I said, the sharing economy is literally. We cannot share anymore. We need to keep a distance, and that does not work for this company in particular. So that's where we are. So I don't think the climb back to normal is going to be a function of how soon the travel and industry comes back, travel and tourism industry comes back, and that's going to be a function of how fast we bulletproof this virus. Bulletproof in the sense that how soon do we feel comfortable with this whole the risk factor of this virus? Is it sanitizers and everything else that we can go on? If people feel comfortable going out and feeling safe, they'll do it. Ultimately, we'll get to a vaccine, but that's going to be a time off. But it's going to be a slow and gradual process. It'll get there. Travel and tourism is a very big industry. People like to travel. So we'll get there, but it's going to take some time, I think. And this industry is right in the front lines of this whole battle.
It sure is. But in the meantime, Uber has announced plans to cut 3,700 jobs. Airbnb says it's going to cut about a quarter of its workforce. Is that a sign, perhaps, that they don't expect a rebound to their business anytime soon?
Absolutely not. I think what they are doing now, the name of the word now, or the operative word right now, is to manage your balance sheet, manage your liquidity. So I think in this time, when every other company is holding back costs, cutting down costs, I think this was right in line with that. They need to cut costs. There is no business. The demand side of the equation is very weak. So, and it may not come back for a while. So we don't know how the dust is going to settle on the other side of this. We'll wait and see. But until then, the name of you need to preserve your resources to fight another day, like they say. So I think that's what's happening. I don't think business is going to be impacted. It's going to be slow. Only because like I said, it's you want contactless delivery of everything. So I think that's going to take some time. But to the extent we can come up with a good system where people feel safe, I think we'll be okay. So, or not okay, but we'll get back to normal at some point. So 3 months, 6 months, we don't know. But there is a path to getting back to normal. It's going to take some time. And we'll see how it works out.
And what do you think about investor appetite in these companies like Airbnb and Uber? Do you think that's also taken a hit as a result of this crisis?
Absolutely. I think they have. I think Airbnb's IPO has definitely pushed out now because of this whole thing. People are worried. Can they sustain it? How? I mean, the business model works. We want the sharing economy. We like the ride sharing business. We like the rentals, the vacation rent sharing rentals. So we like that. And it's cost effective. There's a good value proposition there. And it opens up tourism. It opens up places where we would never have gone at a price that we can afford. So there's a whole lot of advantages there. But the biggest thing is the safety factor. I mean, getting this virus was almost like a death sentence. And to the extent that's removed from the equation and people can feel comfortable that they can manage it, they can control the viruses, I think we'll be okay. So the models are going to be affected, but I think it'll prove that they can come back.
Okay, Santosh Rao from Manhattan Venture Partners, thank you for your analysis as always.